Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update on an article that I ran across here, and this is by Helen Partz, and this is Cointelegraph.com. And what we're looking at here, guys, it says 250K Bitcoin price prediction is now conservative, says Tim Draper. And first of all, guys, what I want to start out with, you have to be very careful. I know that Tim Draper here is a billionaire and he's significant in venture capitalism and he's a major Bitcoin bull. But what we have to remember when we look at articles like this, we have to control our emotions. Do I believe that at some point down the road, Bitcoin could hit $250,000? Guys, that's not out of the question at all. With how deflationary Bitcoin is, and with only 21 million of them that are ever going to be mined, that is so significant because we know how, very wealthy millionaires and billionaires act. If their buddies or friends have one, they want one as well. And the simple fact, guys, that there's only going to be 21 million that are ever mined, and the last one's not even going to be mined till basically over 100 years from now. You got to think about the demand that's going to come for Bitcoin. But the main reason I'm bringing this article to you is the simple fact that when I first got in this space, I've been in the space now for a little over 2 years. I was reading articles, Litecoin going to $1,000, Bitcoin going to $1 million, and all these people putting stuff out there. And it was the first time that I ever had been in any type of market. And, I believed people too easily. And I got my hopes up. And that's what I don't want to bring to people with my channel. I want to really try to help educate people, help them learn how to trade so that you can protect your profits and your capital. Because number one, guys, capital preservation is the number one most important thing whenever you're in the markets. Especially in a bear market like we went through, cash is king. Now, am I telling you not to hodl Bitcoin or anything like that? I'm not, guys. I'm not your financial advisor. You do whatever you want. But the reason people really love Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency space, if you're a trader, is it's one of the most volatile spaces in the world. Probably the most volatile space in the world. And you can capitalize on these major swings when Bitcoin's going up and down, this or that. And to me personally, guys, as opposed to taking a guy like Tim Draper and going, okay, by 2022, it's going to be $250,000. How many times have we heard John McAfee and all these guys predict that Bitcoin's going to $1 million by 2020? It's not going to happen, guys. And it's going to take time for the adoption to happen and for the growth to happen. So basically what I'm bringing you today is, don't just get your hopes up. Really learn about investing, learn about trading. That's what I've done. I've tried to read as many books as I can about this stuff, to educate myself, so I'm not just looking at a video and saying, oh, well, hopefully it's going to go to $225,000 down the road, and that's great. You really want to have a plan and you want to execute on your plan. So that's what I wanted to bring to you guys. Just really be careful out there about all the people who are saying this price or that price. No one knows. There's so many different factors that can happen in the world that can either push the Bitcoin price up so high to where $225,000 could seem like nothing, or it could crash so low. And that's just the world economies, all the different things that are going on. There's so many different factors, regulations that could come on. So just be careful, guys. Remember, cash is king whenever you're trading. Okay, you have to have capital to be able to be in the game. That's the most important thing. So always protect your capital. Guys, I would suggest stop losses. Really learn about stop losses and protect yourself the best that you can. So with all that said, guys, I'm not your financial advisor, but I wanted to bring you this article because it is something that's important. He's putting it out there, and this is on Cointelegraph.com, and it is by Helen Partz, and it says 250K Bitcoin price prediction is now conservative, says Tim Draper. Major Bitcoin bull Tim Draper now thinks that his own prediction that the Bitcoin price will hit $250,000 by 2022 may be understating the power of Bitcoin. And remember, guys, these are just people's opinions. We've heard this all down the road from so many different people. And we also heard people who were saying Bitcoin was going to go to $1,000 and it never made it to that area, in terms of the bottom. So just take everything with a grain of salt. That's the best thing that I can tell you. And guys, if you like these videos, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Appreciate you all being here with me today. It goes on to say, Bitcoin price to grow with adoption. In an interview with Crypto News Network, Block TV on September 13th, the famous American venture capital investor has once again expressed his bullish stance on Bitcoin, forecasting the soon-to-come mass global adoption that will push the price of Bitcoin higher, Draper stated in an interview. And what I wanted to point out to you all, I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that Bitcoin is gold 2.0. And I believe that because of the scarcity of it, the electricity that goes into mining, just like how you mine physical gold, how you have all the fuel costs, the actual land costs, all the dump trucks, the mining equipment, the sluice boxes, all those different things that go into it. Same here. You have to have that value, that intrinsic value, and I believe Bitcoin has that. It goes on to say 250,000 means that Bitcoin would then have about 5% market share of the currency in the world, and I think that may be understating the power of Bitcoin. Now, he goes on to say Bitcoin is still too complex, and that's what I believe that very much so. I have some people in my family who are over 50, and when it comes to Bitcoin and all this stuff, guys, they would be so lost if they tried to do all this. So I do believe that we still need to have better on-ramps for Bitcoin investing, which we're getting there. It's getting better by the day. According to Draper, people still prefer fiat money over Bitcoin so far because fiat money seems to be easier operation to pay for services. The VC billionaire argued that Bitcoin's lack of ease of use is the main impediment to the mass adoption of cryptocurrency to date, claiming that engineers have not made it easy enough for everyone to use Bitcoin. However, in the long term, people will have Bitcoin as the currency of choice because fiat currencies are subject to political influence due to the centralized nature, and they will depreciate, in value due to a natural inflation rate. And that's another thing. You think about, we'll take America, for example. Guys, the dollar, it is losing value by the day. The inflation rates are just crazy. You look back even in the 1950s. Like, I train guys, so I'm a personal trainer and a specialist in fitness nutrition, and some of my clients, they're in their 70s, and they tell me about how they were buying items that were at that time $5 that are now, $45, $50. And this was back in the 50s, and just how things have changed. And what happens is that's inflation. So basically your purchasing power is just getting eroded by the day. And with Bitcoin, that deflationary currency, you're going to see the value rising. And that's the thing with the dollar, they can just keep printing and printing and printing. It's a smoke and mirror show because it's not backed by gold anymore. We're off the gold standard. And that was one of the worst things that happened to the dollar, in my opinion. And guys, most fiat currencies don't last much more than 200, 250, 300 years. That's just the deal. And then you look at gold and silver, how it's basically stood the test of time. And I believe that's the case with Bitcoin as well. Okay? And then he goes on to say here, still, even in countries such as the United States, people will generally want a currency that is trusted and decentralized over a currency controlled by entities like the Federal Reserve, which can be very political, Draper concluded. Draper's new claims follow his recent forecast that there might be a slight delay in Bitcoin's path to $250,000. On August 9th, the investor predicted that the Bitcoin price will hit the threshold by Q1 2023. On September 9th, Draper joined the board of directors of EOS-based decentralized application firm Make Sense Labs. So I just wanted to put this out there to you guys. I wanted to give you the best explanation from my point of view and just say, read this stuff, look at this stuff, pay attention to this stuff, but don't put your hopes in any person who's saying, it's going to go to this price or that price. Nobody knows, guys. We have to follow the price action. We have to look at the charts. We have to look at the fundamentals and just protect yourself, protect your emotions. Just how I like to run my businesses, guys, I want to under promise and over deliver. And, people who are saying we're going to $1 million and this and that, no one knows right now. So let's just take it one day at a time. And first of all, let's try to break out of the consolidation that we've been dealing with now for about 2.5 months. We're at $10,100 right now, guys, and we really need to see that upside break for this to continue to be the case and maybe make it to that $250,000 by 2022. But we'll see, guys. If you like these videos, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Appreciate you all being here with me today. God bless. Take care.